So the original part would be the marble-looking part, not the brick part.
Okay, yeah.
I guess,
oh, yeah,
right?
You're right, because look, it's got that thing.
But why do you think there's two different kinds of brick?
They're colors.
No, but the brick wouldn't be the part that's like original, right?
Yeah. No, good question.
They ran out of one and they did the other. I also always wonder why they just like, those I get that they're like trying to organize what they have or whatever, but then these ones are just kind of sitting there. It's always like that, like why do some of them look like they just are wherever they landed, that's where they are, you know?
Yeah, you're right. So these all have their capitals pretty much intact. I mean, except for that, or that one over there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because if that fell down, you would expect that would be the first thing to break.
Right. Look at this thing. So this looked like the entrance to that Caesar's Palace or whatever. Not
Caesar's Palace.
It was.
This couldn't be that though, because that would have been where that thing is.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
So,
the right way, but look at how majestic that is.
if we read a plaque, I'm sure it'll tell us about whatever this was. Oh, let's go on this side. What is that? Oh, look at the underside of the top part. It's got like a lot of ornate stuff on it. I guess that makes sense because somebody would be walking through it.
Right.
Not anymore, but. Well, there you go. What was the, damn. What was the Venus that they had?
What the?
Venus E something. You got something on your glasses?
Do you see a little bug on me?
Where, on your eye?
No, around my hair. It seemed like it was
No.
like connected to my glasses. It kept like getting on my face as soon as I put my glasses back on.
It might be a piece of hair that's like on the
No, it
glasses.
was a moving bug. All right, I think I got
Oh.
rid of it.
It doesn't say. This looks to be another entrance or for us exit. So if we get to the exit, we can just walk back around. Ooh, I walked through something. Do I have like a spider web on me or something?
Might be something about where we were just sitting, because that was what was happening to me.
Is there anything on me?
Hold on. No. Look, we're gonna go through one of those tunnels.
Are we? Oh yeah. So this is probably what I saw then.
But then what, are we gonna end up on the street? We don't want to do that.
Well, no, I think this goes into some particular attraction. Or it goes, remember there's the other forum. That's actually the first one we saw, which is over there. So I think this actually connects to that.
But doesn't this go, oh no. There's this, it doesn't go that way? Oh no. I don't know where I am, so here, let's see.
Whoa.
Venus Genetrics.
Oh, yeah, let's see if I can find a thing about that. How do you spell it? That's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this one describes a type. It's like a version of her as the foundress of a family. That's what the genetrics part would be.
Okay.
So it's almost like when you get like a action figure and it's like Spider-Man battle damaged or whatever, like Spider-Man in Dr. Octopus armor or something. And it's like different versions of the same character.
Okay.
So on Wikipedia, there's an actual entry for Venus Genetrics, which is any various sculptures or this that represent a particular element of Venus.
Got it. Okay.
Makes it all really hard to comprehend, or like, you know, like follow along with, sort of. Too many things to remember.
Sì, because it's gonna take a while.
Yes.
Okay, allora, where are we?
I don't know,
Nice. Look at this. We are underground. We are in
Right.
the cellar of the medieval houses, remember? So we already saw just a little bit of these pictures. You see the form of Caesar and
Yes, I see it.
so recently they just kind of reopened everything. And even if you can see the walking on the road like
So this is a good visual, so it's got all the like shops or offices or whatever were there, and now like it's
Yeah.
a before and after kind of thing. I mean, that building is gone, but I mean, this building's here now, but that's gone.
The cellars of houses.
So let's walk through. This seems kind of cool. Don't you have the doors all over the ceiling?
They would be projecting something there, I guess?
You're back in the
No,
office.
no, I mean here, like that would be like some kind of presentation that would play, I
Maybe,
guess.
yeah, that would have been cool.
Out of order. This is really cool. So how do you think that they like busted down one of the walls between these various houses, you know, basement floors or whatever, so that it becomes one big, like maybe this was not original, but rather these were, because there's like a different architectural style. So maybe they saw that there was this network of basements that were near each other,
Oh.
and they said maybe we could make a passageway.
True.
Maybe they'll have that here. Octavian. Well, I think they're telling you about stuff that's above.
Yeah, but you got it once you're up there, you'll forget what you just read here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, this is, I agree with what you're saying, yeah. That one had a thing that was dedicated to Jupiter Ammon.
Wait, I can't hear what you're saying.
The thing had a thing that was dedicated to Jupiter Ammon,
Oh.
which is Jupiter is Zeus, the Roman version of Zeus. But then Ammon, I'm pretty sure that there was an era when the Romans conquered or whatever, like colonized Egypt, and they took Egyptian gods and combined them with their own, like how they did for the Greek gods. So Ammon is the sun god of Egypt, and then they combined it into Jupiter.
Wow, they were pretty loose with their gods, huh?
Yeah, well, they pretty much stole all their gods from other,
Jeez.
like Hercules, all that stuff. They
Well, that
just
doesn't
took
look
over. That's like a storeroom, I
The
guess.
brig.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see, this is probably what we want. Let's let them.
Halfway.
Ich glaube, es schaut eigentlich fast so aus, als würde noch ausgraben werden, oder?
C'est pas le veste, c'est le pantalon, maman.
Mais
à la veste, ça donne aussi la chaleur.
mijn broek die zit in mijn vel. Wie wil deze stukje van de lolly? Ik wel. Oké, kom dan.
Interesting.
Made some major cellars. I mean, you see houses now, the ceilings are like, where that house Franklin used to live in, they're like 7 feet tall.
What do you mean?
They don't make cellars like, I mean, some new houses, they make them higher.
Oh, you mean like this kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
That is pretty, I didn't even think
Very
about
cool
that.
down here too, you don't get hot down here.
I know, yeah, I was thinking about that. They need a little light for this area.
Yeah. Excuse me, no problem. Watch that plow. Wow, so it wasn't until then that they found 40% of the surface area.
Wow.
Which way do we go?
It is interesting, but it's like, yeah, I agree that you need to be in
Show
it.
me.
You need to see it.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Hello. Yeah, you down in there. You can see Zoom. That's where we are, yeah.
Wow.
I had to send Dad a picture.
Oh. Of what? Which thing?
I sent him this. I mean, I couldn't go through all my photos. I sent him the one that I just took of you. Well, you.
Oh.
Yeah, you're in the.
Me looking at the sign? Yeah, it's
Well, yeah. I mean, look
like
at
around all this
what's
stuff.
around you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so now we're on the other side of this area. And don't forget that there's still like a huge amount of stuff that we basically
Missed
we
on
went
the other
right
side.
and
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
could have
I
gone
know.
left.
That's what I was saying when you said we're going this way. I was like, wait, isn't there a lot of stuff over there? Because I knew that.
I figure we'll finish this and then we'll like walk on the road back to where we were. Although I don't know if they'll let us back in. So maybe
Well,
we'll just have to
there
walk
will-
back through
yeah, but
here.
you know what? There will be a guard there, and we can ask. If we're going to one of their like entrance exits, we'll
Yeah.
say,
It could be faster to just do it back on this path because then you don't have to go like around.
I like how they built the walkway so you don't have to walk over all the stones, which I thought
Yeah.
we were going to have to do.
In Greece, you do just walk around like on the stones or whatever.
Yeah, uneven stones.
Oh, I'm starting to feel a little bit of rain.
I didn't want to say it.
Wow, look at that. So what is that then? Did that say? Or this is that big thing that was on that sign.
We need more signs.
Yeah.
We got to come back to Rome. This wasn't enough time for us.
Well, we still got, you know, some time.
And a half.
No, nel momento che il man... No, nel senso poi quando mangio io, quindi mi viene la vabbè, nel senso quanto tempo...
Oh, what's up with those piled up rocks in the archway? Yeah. Look, it's like a second level of something because there's like these pillars and then there's something there and then there's another set of different pillars, like thin ones.
Yeah. Because look, on that one where the Capitol is, it's way lower than where those capitals are.
Right. Yeah, that's like, it must be a 2-story building, but look at how like ornate the marble is on those pillars.
It's beautiful, I know. Wow. Hey, if you think we're going to come back in, if you think that, it's 1 o'clock. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's why I was saying we should probably just rewalk the path.
Maybe, yeah. Let's go up here and see what's up.
What, the church that's directly in front of you?
This one, is it all the same? Separate from this is the one.
Yeah,
You know what? I don't know anymore.
I don't know. Anything that requires us to leave this like
I
area
don't know
though,
if it was connected to this area.
yeah. But if it does require us to leave, then we could just do it right after.
Right.
Probably I've got a 4 or 5 or 10 of kind of the same thing.
You ruined the vlog and then you had.
It's a cool accent.
Yeah.
I was looking at this pillar the other day. Look at that. Every single piece of that has inlaid reliefs in it. Can you see that?
Yes, I can now.
I was like, I had seen this pillar like, 10 times, but then only when I went really close did I see that. And they're all really detailed.
Wow.
So this looks like the actual entrance to get in, one of the 3. So then we can, from here, once we've looked around this area, we can go back that way. Because this is actually makes you kind of go around the area, so it'll be better to just.
Area we didn't see yet.
No, we would have to go like on streets around the whole forum to get back to an entrance, or we could just walk back the path we just did without looking around. It'll take us like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, why does that say it's an entrance?
Well, it's an entrance for. Yeah, I don't know why it would say it facing this side. Let's take a look. Oh, first I want to look at this though. Oh, wow.
Après le pont peut-être qu'il a été fait.
Ouais, je pense qu'il a été fait après. Mais ça paraît large quand même, hein, ça paraît très large. Ça, c'est incroyable en tout cas. Le marché au fond là-bas. Oui, et tu vois l'arc là? C'est l'arc qui est là-bas? Ouais. C'est ça, et en fait tous les immeubles après c'est juste après.
On va bien concevoir des plans comme ça.
Sí, porque ahí están las columnas.
Esta es la columna esta. Ahí
No,
tenemos
no hay problema.
y ahí está el otro huevo.
Oh yeah, 2 floors, it says. But, so that Trajan's column, when does that date from?
That?
Yeah. That can't be a remaining structure from the era that this temple is from. From 87 or 117 AD.
It says it was lost during the Middle Ages and replaced in 1587.
But that's the golden statue that was on top.
Oh, just the statue?
So I don't really know when the actual column came from.
Oh, his battle. That's his battle that's in the relief that goes all around.
Oh, so this says, oh no, that's talking about these columns. Another 1930s reconstruction. They really did a lot of work in the 1930s.
And then what, they forgot about it until 1998?
I guess.
I did forget about this. Like, it's not like
Yeah.
you'll notice it.
Well, it's the kind of stuff where I bet like they didn't have enough funding or whatever. And there's also things where like people's, like the world in general's interest in preservation shifts over time. Like there are kind of like growth spurts of reconstruction that happens and then it like dies down again.
Yeah.
Like what we were seeing at the Colosseum where like they just like crushed stuff and made it into whatever they wanted for like farm sheds because they didn't care. And then later they're like, oh, actually we should have kind of like,
Maybe, yeah, they kept it. Oh, so that was the emperor up there, and now it's St. Peter. Okay.
Yeah. But all the pictures, I guess, are still depicting Trajan's achievements. It can't be that that's still standing from all that time ago, right? I mean,
They had a
you would think
major
these buildings would be a lot
earthquakes
more,
here.
yeah.
You know, where like the pieces of the Colosseum fell in, how would this be standing? I don't know.
I feel like that's the biggest thing that they needed to say.
The base of the building.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was taking a bunch of pictures yesterday of that. Let's take a look on Google about Trajan's column. Yeah, so Jupiter Ammon. Ammon is the Egyptian deity, also known as Amun, who's one of these guys.
Oh yeah.
And so he was, I guess, engulfed into Jupiter's storyline. Because I guess it sort of generally applies to the same thing as like the biggest god in town would be him. So let's see, Pillar of Trajan. Trajan's column in the Dacian Wars. Okay. Let's see. Reproduction. Okay. No, that's not right. I don't know. It can't be the original though, right?
It's hard to know, yeah.
Let's see. Is...
Oh, I see a garbage can. Let me take that coffee
okay.
cup.
Oh, thanks. Is Trajan's column in Rome the original? How is that possible? It says it really is the original from 106 to 113 CE.
No, se l'hanno rivisto. Okay, it's okay.
Oh no?
You can't go over there, but
Oh.
I see it. I got it. Thank you.
Look at that, huh? That's so crazy. Like every single one of these spirals, you know, the bas-reliefs inside the spirals is like, it's got to be like 5 feet tall per thing. And it looks like they're such small things because they're small compared to the rest of that and compared to the size of the whole column. But look at these.
I mean, look how detailed they are.
Right, because like it kind of is like an optical illusion where you look at these huge ones and you say like, oh, like look how great these detail is for such a small picture. But if you really look at like other people, like this must be like 5 feet tall. This one of these.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Like things inside the spiral, and think about how much artwork you have to make to fill up that whole thing. You know.
And in a circular motion.
I wonder if somebody's made like a constructed image that's like in order, because since it is a spiral, it would never end the pictures. You know, they would just keep going like this. It's not like they're on straight things where it's like this picture is a strip and then this picture is a strip. So this has to be one giant storyline that goes all the way either up or down. I imagine from the bottom up.
Bottom, yeah, where they're coming out to go to war. It's like his whole thing about his war.
That's crazy. Yeah, I read all those books about the emperors of Rome, but there's so many emperors that I never remember what any particular one did.
Kind of quick.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
But it's like I've read a lot about Trajan, but I couldn't even tell you anything about him really.
Look at this beautiful dome and this whole thing here, this church.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I mean, to even imagine what it's like inside this church. If the outside looks like this, when we see plain churches that are like unbelievable.
So I think the reason it says entrance here is because people walk down these stairs and then they get the tickets to enter this here.
You know why? Remember when we talked to the guy around the corner the other day, and he said you come to this statue, which we can see.
Oh, he said that? Yeah,
he
okay,
said
yeah.
at the base of the statue is the ticket booth.
So it's not like, because we thought maybe that since it says entrance facing us, that is entering a different attraction,
Right,
but it's
yeah,
not.
but it's not.
So let's head back that way.
Okay.
We'll make record time going in that direction. Give me a sec though, hold on. Trajan's column will close it out. Thanks for joining.